Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In previous video, I have shown you how to design this add employee and how to backend code for this. So if you haven't watched that video, then just go to description there. I put the link for my previous video. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to design for this one, that is update employee. This is a complete project which I have opened right now. So if I click on this, here you can see this. I'm going to design this one and I'm going to implement the backend coding for this one. So let me just close this and close this application, and let's move back to the project on which we are working. So this is a project which we are working. So let me start this and let me show you quickly. And if I log in and if I go over here, you can see this. Now you can see the employee stuff, right? So next thing what we have to do is we have to create a new form, and here you can see this. When we click on this, nothing happens. So we are going to implement that part. So first thing what we have to do is just go to the Solution Explorer, right click on this one, click on add and select this form. If you can't able to find the form over here, then select new item, and here you will find this form. Select this and I'm going to name this one update employee. Click on add and this will add a new form. After this, what we have to do is, first thing, let me just go to the properties and let me change the back color to white. After this, I need to remove the form border. So let me just remove that. Form border style, just change this one to none. After this, we have to set the same size of this form according to the complete project. So size is 727, 745. If I hit enter, and here you can see this, now the size is same. Next thing what we have to do is just go to this employee section, and here I'm going to copy some of this stuff like these two and these all. Okay, let me copy all of the items from here. Select all. Let me copy this, move back to this one and paste it over here, and you can see this one is out of the box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put it like this. Let me just move back. Okay, let me copy this much stuff first and paste it over here like this one, and change this one to update employee. So click on this, move back over here and change this one to update employee. After this, we need to put the stuff, right? For that, let me just move back over here, not this one, over here. Let me copy these items first. So let me copy this and move back over, just paste it and make some space over here. So this is name, hire date, contact number, gender, address, and after that we need city and state only. And by username we are going to search. So I'm going to copy this much stuff and move back over here and paste it. Let me put like this, and just this one, move this one to upside. After this, let me just minimize this little bit so that I can put the search button over here. So for that, again, I'm going to copy this one and paste it over here. Again, I'm going to paste two more buttons. One is for reset and one is for update. Okay, like this. Save it and let me just minimize the size of this one a little bit. Yeah. I need to change the name for this one to search. Hit enter. Just change the ID for this one to BT and search. Change the text for this one to reset. And change the button name to BT and reset. After that, this one to update. And change the name to BT and update. Okay, and we need to minimize this one a little bit more and just put like this and like this one. Okay, Need to adjust this a little bit, and these all too. So that we have equal space between these all stuff, right? Okay, now it's looking nice. Let me just increase the size for these two. Like this one, and we need to change the icons for these, right? So for that, let me just save it. Just click on this one and move back over here to the images. This one, click on this, click on import, and here what we are going to do is we are going to search for magnifies glass. This one, click on OK, and here we see this. Now the image is changed. For the reset also we need to change the image, so just click on this one, click on import, and for the reset we have this one, and for the update I want to change this one too. So just click on this, import, and this one is the update icon. So you can see this. Now our design is ready. So first thing what we want is whenever we click on this button, I want to get the username from here and search it into the database, and what if the data match, then I want to fill the data corresponding to that username into this one. Okay, so let's do that. So just double click on this to generate a click event for BT and search. Just double click on this. Before we start coding over here, first thing we need a database operation variable. So database operation is equal to new database operation. Okay, so this is a custom class which I have created in the first video, so make sure to watch that and follow the same. Okay, after this I need a variable string query to store the query whatever I write, and one data set variable so that I can store the data set which is being returned from the DB. Okay, and another one more variable which I need to actually check the condition that if their employee exists or not. For that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a name, employee available is equal to false by default. Now we are ready to work with this. Before we do anything, what I want to just code for this one. So double click on this, btn exit, and at this I simply want to close this. So this dot close. Okay, and one more thing, what we want is, let me just move back over here. Whenever this form opens, we want to open this form in the center of the screen. For that, just click on this, go to this one, start position, just change this one to center screen. And if I move back to the design stuff, let me move back over here and go to the dashboard. And if I click on this one, let me see the ID, update employee tool strip. So if I double click on this, this will generate a click event. And here what we have to do is if application dot open forms dot of type, and inside this one we have to pass update employee this one dot count is equal to 1. Then what we want to do is we want to bring that application in the front. So application dot open forms dot of type, inside this one we will pass update employee dot first dot bring to front. In the else condition, what I want to do is I want to open the form, right? So if this is not the case, it means that none of the update employee page is open. In that case, I want to open a new form, right? So update employee u is equal to update employee is equal to new update employee dot show. Now let's check if this one is working or not. So let me start my application. Inside this one, admin and pass. Let me just log in. If I click over here, click on this one, and here you can see that this one is opening. If I click on this one, and here you can see this one is opened. So if I click on this one, and if I again click on this brings it to front. Okay. So this one is working fine. Next thing, what I want is whenever I click on this and click on search, I want to fill the data corresponding to this username into all of these fields. So let's do that quickly. So let me just close this and close this dashboard too. And move back to this one, update employee, and double click on this. And over here, what we have to do is we have to first extract the username into a variable. So string. And before we do that, let me just put my code into the try and catch block. Like this one. Inside this one, I'm going to extract the name into a username. Txt username dot text. After this, we have to write the query. So query is equal to select e dot star comma a dot star, because we need to fetch the data corresponding to username, but username is in which table? That's in the app user table, right? Let me just quickly open that. Okay, from employee as e, and I'm going to put an inner join over app user table as a on e dot app user underscore fk is equal to a dot app user underscore pk, where a dot username is equal to single quotes, double quotes, plus plus, double quotes, single quotes. Inside this one, we have to pass the username. And let me just put a semicolon over here. So my database is open. Let me just connect. Let me just open that file. Open up. Over here, we can see this. The username is in which table? It's in app user. Username, user pass, and user role is in app user table, right? So on the basis of this, I want to fetch the all data corresponding to this one and all data corresponding to this one, because we already have a foreign key from here connecting to this one, if you observe it over here, right? So what I did over here is, let me just move back over here. I have selected all the details from employee and all the details from app user, and from which table? Employee as e, and I put an inner join. It means that whenever the data is available in both the tables, then only the record will be fetched. And the second table is app user as a, and we have put the join on which key. So in the employee table, we have app user underscore fk column name. So if I move back over here, you can see this app user fk, and in the app user table, we have app user pk. So if I move back over here, you can see this, and where a is for app user, right? So if I move back over here, you can see this, and where a dot username is equal to whatever text you have typed in that text field. After this, what I have to do is I have to simply fire this query into the database and get the result. So ds is equal to database operation dot get data. Inside this one, we have to pass the query, something like this. After this, what I have to do is I have to check if this dataset contains the data or not. So ds not equal to null, and ds dot tables, inside this one, 0th table dot rows dot count is not equal to 0. Then what I want to do is I want to extract the data from this data set and set into the table, right? So for that, and if this is not the case, then what we have to do is we have to simply show a message. So message box dot show employee not found, and we need to put some message box header name, so that is information. After this, I need to put some button over this one, so button OK, and I'm going to put some icon, so message box icon dot information. and we have took one variable. I'm going to just change this one like employee available to true if this one is available, and in this case I'm going to put false into this one. I will explain what is the use case of this in a while. Don't worry about that. So first thing, now we get the data. Suppose this is the valid condition. Like suppose I have put this correct username. In that case, I want to extract the data. And now we have the data into this one. Next thing, we have to set the data into all the fields. So txt name dot text is equal to ds dot tables. Inside this one, 0th table dot rows 0, and the column is 1, and just convert this one to string. Okay, so how we know that at the first index this name exists? To know that, what I am going to do is I'm going to just click on this one, and the better way to do that is, let me just copy this query and move back to the database. Let me just change from master to the database which we are using, that is pass, and let me just create a new query table and move back over here. And what I'm going to do is select star from app user and just execute this. And here we have added emp99 in the last lecture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put emp99 over here. So emp99. Let me just close this and let me select this one and just execute it. And here you can see this, at the 0th index we have 8, right? That is the ID. At the first index, 0th row, first column, 0th row, first column, 0th row, second column, 0th row, third column, 0th row, fourth column, 0th row, fifth column, 0th row, sixth column. In the same way, we need to follow the order, right? So let me just code accordingly. If I move back over here, so at the 0th index, we are expecting this string. So let me just start this and let's check if this one is working or not. So admin and pass and login. Just move back over, click on this one, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to type emp99 and search for it, and here you can see this, now the name is visible over here. If I'm going to change some content from here and try to search it once again, employee not found, the message is being popped up. So this one is right. So let me just close this and move back over here. Okay. After this, what we have to do is we have to set the remaining stuff like txt hire date dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows 0, and this one is 2 dot toString. After this, we have txt contact dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows 0, and the column is 3 dot toString. In the same way, we have to do for the gender also. So txt gender dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows 0, and the column is 4 dot toString. After this, txt address dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows 0 5 dot toString. txt city dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows 0 comma 6 comma 2 string, like this one. After this, txt state dot text is equal to ds dot tables 0 dot rows 0 7 2 string, like this one. Now let's save this and now try again. If I move back over here, admin and password is pass. Let me just log in and move back over here and click on this one and emp99. Let me just search for this one, and here you can see this. Now the date is changed to 15 Jan 2023, and the contact number is this, mail, and let's cross verify this with the database details. Okay, so if I move back over here, you can see this is 15 Jan. So if I minimize it, here you can see 15 Jan. After this, we have this India ABC BCZ. So India ABC BCZ. So this one is working fine. So next thing, move back over here and code further. So the coding for this one is done. Okay, so we need to actually print this text to console. So console dot write line. I have to write the exception over here. So something like this. Next thing, we have to code for update click, right? So if I move back over here and double click on this to generate a update button click event, so double click on this and this will generate a something is magical. So if I move back over here, okay, it's not happening. Let me just check it. If I move back over here, click and just okay, our project is started, that's why it's not happening. So just double click on this and here you can see this. Now this update is btn update click is generated. So first thing what we have to do is we have to put the code in the try and catch block. So try catch exception ex, and over here first thing what I have to do is I have to extract all the values from these all fields, right? Because suppose user has changed some text, in that case I want to fetch the data. So string name is equal to txt name dot text, string contact is equal to txt contact dot text, string gender is equal to txt gender dot text. After this we have string address is equal to txt address dot text. After this I need to extract the city is equal to txt city dot text. After this we have the string. After this state is equal to txt state dot text. Okay, so we typed wrong over here, so string something like this. After this we need to extract the username. On the basis of username we are going to update this stuff, right? So if you like this video, then just give it a thumbs up, and whatever the next project you want, just comment that in the comment section so that I can see it and I'm going to develop a new project accordingly. Okay, so after this, first thing what I'm going to check is if employee is available. So if employee available, then only I want to update it. If this is not the case, then I want to show a message to the user, right? So message box dot show, inside this one I'm going to tell that employee not found, and this is a error, and message box buttons dot okay, and message box icon will be dot error, something like this. Once suppose if employee is available, then in that case again I need to validate the every field should not be empty, right? I'm going to check not string dot is null or empty. Inside this one I'm going to pass the name, and not string is null or empty. Inside this one I'm going to pass the contact, and not string is null or empty. Inside this one I'm going to pass the gender. After this, not string dot is null or empty. Inside this one I'm going to pass the address, and not string is null or empty. Inside this one I'm going to pass the address. This one is address is already done, so I'm going to pass the city over here, and not string is null or empty. Inside this one I'm going to pass the state, and not string is null or empty. Inside this one I want to pass the username. Now that this one is done, next thing, suppose if fields are empty, in that case again I'm going to show the message to the user. So message box dot show fields empty, and inside this one I'm going to put a message box one name, so information. You can give any name as per your choice, and I'm going to put one message button. So message buttons dot OK and message icons to warning, like this one. After this, what I want to do is I want to convert this contact number from string format to integer format, because it's in integer format in my database. So int64, so number is equal to int64 dot parse. Inside this one I'm going to pass the contact. Now we have converted that number into the string number into the integer value, right? And one more scenario which we have covered in the previous video is that whenever we have actually restricted the user from typing string into the text field. So again I'm going to do the same for the contact number in a while. So let's write the query for the same. So query to actually update the data, right? So here I'm going to write the query. So the query is update e set e dot ename. Ref means employee. Okay, so something like this: single quotes, double quotes, plus plus, double quotes, single quotes. Inside this one we have to pass the name. Okay, after this what we have is e dot contact is equal to contact is a number integer type, so double quotes plus plus double quotes, simply number, pass the number inside this one. After this we have gender, so e dot gender is equal to single quotes, double quotes, plus plus double quotes, single quote, and pass gender into this one. After this we have e dot address is equal to single quotes, double quotes, plus plus double quotes, single quotes, and we have to pass address over here. After this we have city, so e dot city is equal to single double plus plus double single, and we have to pass the city into this one, like this. And let me just change the line over here, and let me just go to the full screen mode. So if I go to this full screen mode, and here we go. So over here, what we are going to do is, after this city, we have e dot state, state. Make sure you put exactly same column name. Okay, so e state is equal to single double plus plus double single, and here we have to pass the state. After this, we have actually set all the values, right? So name, contact, gender, total 3, and 3 6 values 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah. So after this, we have to write the query like from which table, that is employee, and employee as e, and I'm going to put a join, inner join over app user as a on e dot app user underscore fk is equal to a dot app user underscore pk, where a dot username is equal to single quotes, double quotes, plus plus double quotes, and single quotes, and here we go, user name. Yeah, now the task is done over here. For this one, the query is ready. Next thing what we have to do is database operation, and simply call the query and pass the message whatever we want to show. So I'm going to type employee updated, like this one, database operation dot set data, like this one. Okay, now I'm going to save it. After this, what I want is, whenever this one is perfectly saved, in that case I want to clean the all fields, right? So let me just test this first, and after that we are going to proceed with that one. So admin pass and just login. If I click on this one, emp99, and click on this search, and I'm going to change this one to, this is emp power. if I update this one, okay, something goes wrong. So let me move back over here to this one and go to the output, and here you will see what happened. Incorrect syntax near e dot. Okay, so we made some mistake somewhere. So e dot. Let me just quickly check it. I guess we have made mistake over here. This one. Let me just delete this. Let me move back over here. Something like this. Comma. After this, we need to put the comma e.city, and again we have to just remove this stuff, right? So this one is right. Now let's try once again. So let me restart my application and admin and pass login. If I move back over here, click on this one, emp999, search for this one. This is the power, and just click on update. Oh, again it's something went wrong. So I move back over here. So address, now the exception is changed, invalid column address. So I guess we missed type the wrong name. So e-address, it's e-address, right? So that's why I have told you to exactly type the correct name over here, right? Okay, so now restart my application and let's try once again. Click on update, and here you can see this employee updated successfully. Okay, so if I click on OK, and here you can see this, now this time it's emp99 power. So let me just close this, and if I move back over here and search for emp99 and search it, and here you can see that this time we got emp power. So this is it. If I update it once again, and if I close this, and if I again search for emp99 and search it, and here you can see that this one is being updated. So let me just remove this much stuff and let me just update it. Okay, so this one is working fine. Next thing what we have to do is, whenever I make any changes in this username, then I want to clear all of these fields, and also when I click on this reset button, I want to clear all these fields. Okay, so let me just close that and let's work on that. So let me just close this one, move back over here and double click on this button to generate a click event for this reset button. If I move back over here to this reset button here, what we have to do is, whenever we click on this, I want to clear all the fields. For that, so I'm going to write one method over here, that is private void clear all fields, and here I'm going to simply type txt address dot clear. After this txt city dot clear. After this txt contact dot clear. After this I'm going to set the gender column to not selected, like selected index to -1. After this txt higher date to reset text. After this txt state dot clear. After this employee available, and just make this one to false. Okay, and we have to simply call this in the reset method. Reset click on reset click. Okay, after this, whenever we update the stuff, then in that case we also need to clear it. So if I move back over here, after this updation, I want to clear all the fields. So clear all fields. And we also need to type the message over here, the error message to the console. So console dot write line, and say this one simply pass the exception object. So that is EX. After this, you must have observed that if I move back over here and start my application, and if I move back to this update employee, and if I search for EMP99 and search for it, but right now I can type string into this one, so we also need to restrict it. Before we do anything, if I click on this reset, let's check this. You can see this, now this one is clear. Only txt name is left. So let me just close this, and if I move back over here, so txt name dot clear. Okay, that name actually left. Okay, so the thing, we need to restrict this one to only enter integer value. So for that, search for key pressed over here, just double click on this utility dot only number. Inside this one we will pass the key pressed event args. So in the previous video we have created this method, so make sure to watch that video. Link is already in the description. Okay, this one is done. Next thing, this clear is also done. So let me just start this and let's test this one. So admin and pass this one over here, EMP99, and search for it. And here you can see this. Okay, so one stuff is still remaining, that whenever I change the text into this one, I need to clear all of these fields. So let me close this and let me close this. So if I move back over here to the update employee, click on this one and select this txt text change, just double click on this. This will generate a text change event. So here what I'm going to do is simply call this method, that is reset, what is this, clear all fields, right? So clear all fields, simply call this. So let me just search for it, start this admin and pass, and if I go to login, if I click on this one, and here search for EMP99 and search for it, and here you can see this, now the values are over here. If I try to change the username, in that case every field is clear. If I try to update it, employee not found, because employee 99, search for it, EMP power reserve, something like this, mail India. I'm going to change this one to my India. If I update it, okay, and if I again search it, you can see this my India is being fetched. So reset it, and if I try to update it, we can't able to update. So that's it for this video, guys. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to code for that view employee and delete stuff. So don't worry about that. Everything will be taught step by step. So please like, subscribe and share with your friends, and thanks for watching.